Hello, I am Alexis Vladescu and I go to Statesboro High School and I am the Salutatorian, which is the second in class. Statesboro High School was definitely an amalgamation of experiences for me, personally, academically, even spiritually. I definitely entered high school very much ready to explore science, as I'd never had really the opportunity to go more in depth in my middle school and elementary school days. And so Statesboro High School really allowed me, it has cultivated my love of science, but also given me so many opportunities to explore other subjects such as government or philosophy and English, which I also dearly love. And so I've met many people who have just given me so much love and support and were so much more open than I had previously experienced in my other schools, which I'm very, very grateful for and also appreciative of, as well as teachers and so many dedicated teachers that I would not have been the same person that I am now. Well, Mr. Richard McCombs, whom I call Mr. Richie McMick, much love if you watch this. I met him in 10th grade and he was my STEM teacher for 10th grade and 11th grade and my AP Environmental Science teacher in 12th grade. And he has just given me all the love and support that anybody, any child could ever wish for as a teacher, but also as a mentor in life. He has never-ending positivity and has always just tried to search for more opportunities for me and other students as well. And he's always believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself or my friends, my family. So he's just been that sort of rock of support for me. Also, Mrs. Ashley Thompson, my chemistry teacher, who was always bombarded with questions by me, and she's always patiently answered them, but also researched more in depth if she didn't understand them right away. I was part of numerous organizations. In 9th grade, I was part of Technology Student Association, or TSA. We focused primarily on robotics, VEX robotics. I was the team captain. However, after COVID hit and we went back to school, we didn't necessarily have much funding and pieces, materials, and everything was in turmoil. So many virtual, there are many virtual competitions, so I kind of dropped that and entered the STEM research classes at my school. However, I continued with math team throughout my entire high school career, which is something that I've been part of since 5th grade. And in 10th grade, 11th grade, I became associated with National Math Honor Society, which had just started at my school, and I proudly served as a president for 2 years, 11th and 12th grade. I also was part of Beta Club for 2 years. I was a secretary for both years, and this past year in 12th grade, I was part of National Honor Society as a parliamentarian. Basically, I was able to start each meeting off with an inspirational speech for everybody for each month, which was a sort of common theme for our community service for that particular month. And I also was involved as the president and also the literary prose editor for our literary magazine called Listen. And I absolutely loved that because I love being able to be a sort of safe space for everybody's different ideas and also inspire others to pursue expressing themselves throughout literature and art and photography, anything that they would really love to. I also, as I have said, through my STEM research class, I was involved with 3 years of experimentation. For example, in 10th grade, my first ever science experiment in general, I started researching shikimic acid, which is a component from pine needles, which are all around me over here. And I studied their antiseptic properties in contrast to other antiseptics like Germ-X, for example. And then I continued this research in last summer and as well as this year, actually in 12th grade, with Dr. Shanez Lange at Georgia Southern University. I plan on attending Georgia Tech as a biomedical engineering major, and there are particularly three main areas that I would like to focus and explore more on in the future. So the first one is neuroinformatics or bioinformatics. Think of, for example, the brain as a large combination of patterns, neural networks. It's also called a connectome. Basically, think of all these different synapses, and they're creating like little patterns within the brain. And so you can actually code for those synapses or that brain activity. And think of, for example, the Human Genome Project, just like I said before, bioinformatics or protein sequencing. I would really love to explore that in the future. I also love bioimaging. Last summer I was able to shadow a doctor, Dr. Christopher Comey, neurosurgeon, in Atlanta, and he taught me how to read MRIs, which I found highly invigorating and interesting. I wanted to really explore it, and so I've been following up with research. And I also, for example, at Duke University, they recently created colored MRI images, which I think is absolutely beautiful. But I also want to explore radiosurgery. Basically radiosurgery is surgery, non-invasive surgery, using energy. For example, Gamma Knife, which is a surgical machine that emits gamma rays and targets tumor cells within the brain, which I also had the opportunity of learning more about when I was shadowing Dr. Christopher Comey, and it's something that I'm quite passionate about. I mean, imagine all the future possibilities just using energy for non-invasive surgery. There's so much to explore, and I want to really just be a pioneer in that field. So I have a very holistic perspective in life, so I cannot really point out specific role models or specific points of motivation. However, I have three main role models, let me just say that. So throughout all my life, I have had a particular friend in Romania, a family friend, who has been really kind of an older sister to me. I mean, just seeing how she's grown up studying and then going to college in London, I mean, that was just always such an inspiration for me to just study harder, to be the best of myself and be like her in a sense. However, I'm also very inspired by my other family friend, Neku, who has really just cared for me like a father, and he has always taught me to be kind, just to be the best of myself and be kind to everybody regardless of who they are or what they even do to me. And he has also taught me the importance of being honest and doing my work thoroughly, which has been quite essential to myself and also me being able to become a salutatorian or be successful in general. My third role model, she is rather unknown to the general audience, I suppose. Her name is Vera Brittain. She was a philanthropist in a sense. She wrote The Testament of Youth, a book which is basically memoirs of her story from, I believe, World War II. There's also a movie if you would like to watch. And so she was a female student at Oxford University in a time period where women studying at higher institutions was regarded as rather revolutionary, rather controversial. And then during the war, she was a nurse, and then after the war, she vouched for peace and unity, which is, I want to be representative of the values that she upholds. And so she's been a major role model ever since I've learned about her. The main thing that I will miss about Statesboro High School is really the eclectic array of people. I have come across so many different people from so many different backgrounds, which I'm sure I will find in the future, but they've been a sort of home for me in a sense. And learning about people's backgrounds has really humbled me in a sense that I'm able to understand myself better because of them and also find peace within everything within this whole world. And they've been an integrative part of my personal growth, and I will forever miss them, but also cherish them as I continue to meet new people and new backgrounds. Advice that I would give to my fellow peers or any other student that may be watching this is really be passionate about what you do. It doesn't matter what you do, just be passionate about it. strive to be the best, but not merely for titular recognition, but rather for yourself, for honoring all that this life has to give you. Everybody, really. I mean, the air, the trees, everything that's living and not living. Try to be the best for them and really follow those passions. And it's okay to lose yourself every now and then, because you need to stand up with your emotions, stand up with all that life gives you, and just understand yourself, understand everything that is happening, and pursue forward from that. And don't be afraid.